All right, today is Monday, August 22nd. It is 5:15 PM, and this meeting of the Human Rights Commission is now in session. Welcome to all our guests. We've got a little audience tonight. It's nice to have people here, so thank you guys for coming.
I'm going to just add some quick, Casey. These three ladies are possibly your next three commissioners.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for coming. All right.
Scare them.
Yeah. All right, so first order of business, we need to look at the agenda from our special meeting, approve the minutes from our special meeting. It's in your agenda there, if you want to take a look at that. Do we have any questions or discussion surrounding that, the minutes from the last meeting? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Second that.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approve, same sign. Motion carries. All right, let's check out the budget report here. You'll notice that we have about 59% of our budget remaining. However, I know Janelle has not submitted from the good candy yet.
That's only about $45.
So we did actually run out of candy. So I guess the good candy was a good choice this time. So we'll keep that up for next time. And if you notice that it did come out of the budget, we did get the brochures and stuff that we had for the fair. The stuff that has not come out yet is the signs and the t-shirts. So those we're still working on. I just got another email from Printware today. Still working. They couldn't open the logo, and it's been kind of a mess with that. So we're working on that still, but that would be another expense that is coming out soon. And then again, we have some of the money earmarked for the Greater Mankato Diversity Council. Is there any question or discussion about the budget report? And that is not an action item, so I do not believe we need a motion for that. Moving on to the events committee. Brown County Fair. Does anyone that was there want to share a little summary?
It's a lot of people hours, but we have a possible new commissioner as a result of the fair. So I think that, just if we can sort of think ahead for next year and maybe try to keep our schedules open. Because, we didn't even man the booth all the hours that the fair would have hoped we did, but, we did the vast majority.
I know that is a thing every year, is trying to get the people for it, but at the same time, when I was there was a lot of people that stopped by.
Yeah, I had no negative interactions.
Yeah, I think it was good. And whoever, I don't know where we got those little stickers that someone found, but we should maybe look at ordering more of those next year, because those went
popular,
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else about the fair?
I did like that we didn't staff it during the demos, because that's a time that I know the previous year we staffed it and really nobody came in through that area. So I think that was a good choice this year.
So maybe just looking at getting a jump on it for next year, scheduling.
And I believe that Aaron was the one that had brought the stickers.
Is that where, I
Yeah.
didn't know where those came from, and the flags that he brought were very popular as well. So huge thanks to Aaron for that. All right, and so jumping off of that, actually, at the fair, we were approached by members of South Central Minnesota Pride, and we were offered a spot in their upcoming Pride Festival. It is September 10th. They invited us to participate in the parade and or a booth. So you can see the attachment with the information on here. I believe that the parade is free to participate in. I think that it is $50 for a booth, but
It's 45
$45.
for nonprofits, yeah.
So if that's something we want to consider doing, I guess I would open the floor to discussion about thoughts on that.
I think we should definitely try and participate if we can get people. I don't know if, with short notice if we'll have enough people for the parade and the booths.
And I'm not available that day.
I know I'm not either.
Sorry.
And honestly, I believe that would be better to support the parade and just kind of next the booth, just to show support.
That would be my inclination too, because, yeah, you're showing support. Having the booth would be a bit more of a time commitment. There'd be a cost there. Yeah.
And my other question, do we have our T-shirts yet?
That's kind of what I was talking about from the budget report. So it's been kind of an up and down process. I just emailed them again before I came here. So hopefully by then, and some yard signs, although we probably wouldn't give out the yard signs there because it's not in New Ulm. But so definitely hand out some brochures
We
maybe.
have a lot of stickers.
And stickers.
We have a lot of stickers.
We can do
Yes.
candy again, obviously.
Yes. So
And I mean, it would be easier to man it if we're not handing out like the signs. That's a big, we need a lot of people for that. So it'd be easier if we're not doing that, if we had less people.
are you saying for the parade
For
or
the parade,
for?
yeah. Yeah.
So what I think I'm hearing is that we'd like to participate in the parade, but not a booth. And then there would not be a cost as well associated with that.
I would say yes.
I would agree.
If that is the case, do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we participate in the South Central Minnesota Pride Parade.
I'll second.
Go for it.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, so events committee, if you guys want to, someone maybe wants to send out an email on that and we can figure out who is able to make it to the parade and coordinate getting the stuff from Lisa and stuff. So events committee, who is that at this point? Is that you three? Okay, perfect. All right, moving on to 4.3, the Human Rights Award is coming up again, and we are lucky enough to have our past recipient in the audience. Thanks, Chief. So we have the press release nomination form here attached, if we want to look at it. Wendy, have you been the one that kind of coordinated this in the past, or?
Larry was the one that would submit it to, to get everything submitted and whatnot, and then Lisa collected the nominations.
Okay.
So I only had a part in planning the presentation and whatnot.
Okay, so just looking at this press release on here, I see we would need to change the dates, obviously. Is there anything else that we feel maybe needs to be changed on here? What date would we want to have the nominations in by? Oh, there is a nomination deadline on here, so
Says the
September.
20th, which is.
Is that what we
What day of the
would
week
like
is
to
that?
Our,
stick
our
with?
meeting in September would be September 27th.
Okay.
And it looks like we had it like the week before.
Do we want to stick with that, or do we want to possibly, that seems kind of quick to me, but I'm not opposed. What do we think?
We had talked in the past about getting back to coordinating this with Martin Luther King Jr. Day in January, which it was initially, and then just got pushed back for various reasons. So I don't know if that's something we want to consider, just realigning it with that.
Weather was one of the big issues, wasn't it?
I don't remember what the issue, yeah, probably
Like
January.
That's when you would have the actual
That's when it was,
award
that's when it
given
used to be.
out,
Yeah.
would be.
But, so if we're thinking of that, then really, we could have more flexibility with pushing the date back a bit. Because right now, you're looking at a month away. And that,
I feel like
Comes
you
up
almost
fast.
want a minimum of 2 months to
Yeah,
get those
I think
in.
so.
Right, yeah.
Well,
So maybe
should we
we-
say for then October? So
What
our
would be-
meeting
So
would be
our meeting
the
would be the 24th in
24th.
October,
So what would be like the Friday before, maybe?
the 21st.
We had, on this previous letter, it looks like there was a week given for the deadline.
Between the deadline and our meeting.
Right,
So you
because
think
you're gonna
maybe
want time to
earlier than that?
review.
Oh, true. So
the
you want to say October
nominations.
14th then?
So if we were to change the dates on this and have nominations in by October 14th, then we could discuss it at our October meeting. Is that what we're thinking?
And then the award would be in January when we,
And some time to
Present.
plan for that.
okay.
Keeping in mind, we typically don't meet in December, so it would be good timing.
Okay, so do we have a motion to submit the press release with the revised, or the changes that we discussed?
I'll motion to submit the press release with the changes.
I'll second.
All right.
Did you put to change the dates on both the nomination form and
Yep.
the press release? Okay.
Oh, I didn't say the nomination form. I didn't see that one on there. Yes, so we would need to change the dates on the nomination form as well. So a motion to change the dates on both of those.
Correct.
Okay, and we have a motion and a second, I believe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Education Committee, do we have any updates? It doesn't look like it at this time.
No report.
No report.
All right. Executive Committee report. There was a lot going on this last month. The Executive Committee did not manage to meet, so we will be meeting hopefully in the coming week here and setting up dates for the next training, probably the next 2 or 3 even, for the Greater Mankato Diversity Council. We did discuss trying to avoid September because it is so busy with school starting. So looking somewhere in October and seeing what their availability is as well. Public Relations Committee report. Wendy?
Yeah, so I communicated with new editor, with Craig Peterson at the Journal regarding the new policies as far as submitting letters to the editor. And he wrote back just to clarify what had been talked about before, and his response is attached, so you can take a look at that. But to sum it up, we can still submit letters, but they would be signed by an individual versus a number of individuals. But we can mention the number of individuals in the body of the letter, and then that would be acceptable to them. So if it would be, I don't know, it could still be from the commission with one person signing it, and then members listed in the body versus just all people's signatures. He said that they would have to contact all individuals just to make sure every time, and it's a little more tedious than they're willing to do. So I guess what we need to think about or talk about is that acceptable as far as compared to what we have done in the past, where we just had a committee that would get together and have the ability to respond to letters before or without having actual motions or votes. So we'd essentially still be doing the same thing. It would just be reflected as one person signing versus a group.
But we could say in the body of the letter, the Human
Right.
Rights Commission, Executive Committee, something.
Right. So that's really the only thing that would change.
So you would, like you said, in the body of the letter, it would reference the Human Rights Commission, not necessarily the names of each individual person.
I guess,
That
Well,
you're
it would have
thinking?
to be the names of the people on the executive
executive
committee,
committee,
which we have
okay,
already given the
sure.
authority to respond to.
Yep.
And then you would have to put your trust in us that we would be responding appropriately for that, which, again, it's no change from what we've been doing in the past. It's just it's a formality of how it would be presented in the paper.
Right.
So if we did that as a Human Rights Commission, we'd have to put each individual,
Yeah,
Its
and then
name
we'd
in
also
there?
have to vote.
okay.
So, right. And each individual name, again, would have to be in the body, even if it was a whole commission.
I guess I was disappointed that we would not be able to communicate with the public through that means. So I do like that the compromise that he's offering. That's just my
agree.
thought.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and he specifically says, you know, that the letter's written on behalf of all the members of the committee with their names included. So, I mean, he's telling us exactly what we need to do to make it similar to what it was. That way, you know, it still gets everybody's names. Not,
They just aren't signers on the letter is all.
Okay, I don't know, we maybe need a motion on that because, well, we're not changing any process, are we? So I don't think we
Our
need a motion on
process
that.
stays the same, just how it's presented in the paper is different.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
So we do not need a motion on that.
No.
Public Relations Committee, anything else?
That's all.
No. All right, moving on, number 8, current human rights issues. Do we have anything to address at this time? All right, legislative update. Someone was connecting with,
Aaron
Dan.
was going to.
Aaron was going to. So we maybe need someone else that would be willing to be our legislative liaison through Dan.
I can do it.
Thanks, Kristen. All right, so hopefully we'll see if he has any updates for us. How about city council liaison, Chad? Any
There
updates?
is nothing to report. Even today, there's nothing to report.
It sounded like it was a short meeting.
Hmm.
I'm trying to go quick here. All right. Other business, student commissioner position. So last year kind of got lost in the shuffle at the end of the year. So we did not get any applications. We need to restart that process.
And I did talk to 2 students of the New Ulm Public High School at the fair who were interested.
Okay.
So they hadn't heard about it before, and maybe
Okay.
just making a more concerted effort too, just to get the information out to the schools in a timely manner. And I told these 2 that I would reach out through their school.
and I talked to someone too that was thinking about it. Do they, can they fill it out, the app online? Or do they need a paper copy?
It looks like it's paper, but I wonder if we could just drop off paper copies at each of the local high schools. Maybe with
'Cause
the
I'm
office
just
or a
thinking-
counselor.
Teenagers are so electronic,
like a
even to like
PDF, you could edit or
to
something.
find it on like on the city website. You know, basically you have to do a search to
Yeah.
even find it. It is in there as a PDF. I don't think it was an editable one. I was on my phone at the fair, so the website's kind of different than on my. I don't like to do my phone for websites, but.
I wonder if we maybe dropped off some paper copies with the expressed intent that we'll come back on this date to pick up whatever, so they don't have to worry about dropping them off and stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So-
They get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, so we would need a point person maybe at each
in each
building.
school. Well, I could take care of New Ulm High School. I know people there.
I could take care of the cathedral.
Cathedral. Does anyone have a connection at MBL? Okay, I mean, I can check in with them and try to find a connection person, and maybe we'll drop them off and then have a date that we'll come back to pick up whatever has been filled out, if there have been any. I wonder if you guys want to look at the press release, we probably will need to issue a new one. So
I'm wondering if it's necessary that we have the deadline. Do we have to have a deadline? Why would we need that? Couldn't it remain open until the position's filled?
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think maybe we just set a deadline thinking,
That it would help,
Bring
but we
people in.
didn't
Yeah.
really.
yeah,
It'd be really no different than what we're doing right now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
True.
and that was the end of the school year, so now we could drop it, start again, and then it would just be open.
Okay,
So we would have to communicate with Lisa about the press release and changing that then.
and I can do that. I can connect with Lisa.
Then would we need to change the sentence that says the terms would begin and end in August?
It would have to just be is it a 1-year term?
ju-
Yeah,
one
1 or
and
2,
two.
depending.
Yep.
So it would just be from the beginning of their term,
Sure.
would start the
Yeah.
date.
Okay. So maybe we would take out the term, when the terms would start and end,
Yeah, just leave it
and
as
the
a
deadline.
1-year and 2-year term.
Yep, and then the deadline that, I'll just have her put that the open until filled. Okay. All right, anything else that looks like we need to change on there? I'm looking at the application that doesn't have dates or anything on it.
They would just have, there's a deadline on the application, so that would have to
Is
change
there?
too.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, towards the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, and then we'd have to change email. Well, they could still email or drop off at City Hall if we're going to do a designated pickup date.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, do we have any other discussion surrounding the student commissioner positions?
I hope we get some.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, I think it kind of just got lost in the shuffle last year, so.
Bad time of year.
Okay, do we need a motion if we are, maybe to submit the press release and to connect with the schools? I feel like we maybe need a motion just to be
I make
safe
a
on that.
motion to amend the press release and application to include new dates and resubmit to the local high schools.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, 11.2, discussion regarding Brown County Historical Society speaker on the weaponization of history. Consider sending HRC representative to the next meeting. This person is no longer a speaker, so this is no longer a necessary item. 11.3, review of board members' roles and responsibilities. I asked Lisa to pull some information from the handbook just regarding our roles as commissioners, our duties, and proper procedures and decorum during meetings. So just take a moment to look through that for our reference. And a review of rules of civil debate, open meeting laws, and political straight talk. Do we have any questions or discussions surrounding those expectations?
I think it's a good review.
All right, if no one has anything else, then the date of our next regularly scheduled meeting is Monday, September 26th, not the 27th. Is that correct?
26, correct.
It is the 26th. Monday, September 26th, 2022. And if no one has anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned.